Hello there. I am Sabri C. I am the instructor of the worldwide bestseller PMP exam prep course in Udemy. Most of the PMP aspirants find the earned value management concept very hard to learn. PMI can ask one or sometimes two EVM questions on the PMP exam. To answer these questions, you don't need to be an EVM expert, but you still need to know this concept. In my online course in Udemy, I explained this concept in a very simple step-by-step manner so that everyone can understand it easily. There are 3 EVM lectures in the course, and today I am publishing the first lecture on my YouTube channel. I will publish the remaining lectures soon, so subscribe to this channel and click on the bell icon to not miss the second and the third videos. I also attached the link to our bestseller Udemy course below so that you can sign up and start studying for the PMP exam and pass it on the first try. Here is the first EVM lecture then. Enjoy the course. Hi there. We have learned all of the planning processes of the cost management knowledge area. There is only one process left, and it is a monitoring and controlling process. It is the control costs process. The most important item you need to learn in the control costs process is the earned value analysis. This is why I have created separate lectures for earned value analysis before starting the control costs process. I will explain this concept as simple as possible so that you understand it easily. So, if you are ready, let's start the lectures. Before starting the lecture, I would like to remind you that we use earned value analysis to monitor and control the schedule and the cost of the project. Therefore, it is used both for schedule management and cost management. Here is the syllabus for earned value analysis. As you see, we will first list the acronyms and terms. Then, we will see the formulas in the formulas lecture. These 2 lectures are just the introduction, and we will only talk about the definitions of the terms and the formulas. Then, we will learn all of the EVM principles by going through an example. With this example, you will understand all of the concepts so that you can solve all kinds of earned value related questions very easily. Here is the list of acronyms and terms you need to know. Again, I would like to remind you that this is just an introduction, and we will look through all of these concepts in detail in the EVM principles lecture. Therefore, take a look at the terms and don't worry about their meanings right now. PV is the abbreviation of plant value. This is the estimated value of the plant work as of today. EV is the abbreviation of earned value. This is the work accomplished as of today. AC is the abbreviation of actual cost. This is the cost of work accomplished as of today. BAC is the abbreviation of the budget at completion. This is the budget that we calculate at the very beginning of the project. EAC is the abbreviation of estimate at completion. This is the forecasted cost that we calculate by using some variables we get during the execution of the project. ETC is the abbreviation of the estimate to complete. This is the cost we will spend from now on until the project is completed. VAC is the abbreviation of variance at completion. This is the expected difference between the budgeted cost and the forecasted cost as of today. Let's discuss the EVM formulas that you should know for the exam. You need to memorize all of these formulas before the exam. Therefore, after completing the earned value lectures, I recommend you to turn back here and memorize all of the formulas. Don't worry, after finishing the EVM principles lectures, it will be easier to remember these formulas. Cost variance CV equals EV minus AC. This is the earned value minus the actual cost. Schedule variance SV equals EV minus PV. This is the earned value minus the planned value. Cost performance index CPI equals EV divided by AC. This is the earned value divided by the actual cost. Schedule performance index SPI equals EV divided by PV. This is the earned value divided by the planned value. Please note that up to here, all of the formulas start with earned value. This hint will help you to memorize these formulas easier. There are 4 formulas for EAC, the estimate at completion. We need to choose the appropriate formula depending on the conditions. In reality, all of the formulas may be calculated at the same time to make a comparison. The first formula is EAC equals BAC divided by CPI. This is the budget at completion divided by cost performance index. We use this formula if we consider that we will have the same spending rate in the future as it is now. The second formula is EAC equals AC plus BAC minus EV. This is actual cost plus budget at completion minus earned value. We use this formula if we consider we will have the spending rate in the future as it was at the beginning of the project. Here, we believe the variances that occurred up to now will remain the same up to the end of the project. The third formula is EAC equals to AC plus BAC minus EV divided by CPI times SPI. This is budget at completion minus earned value divided by cost performance index times schedule performance index. We use this formula if we think both cost and schedule variances will be the same in the future and they will affect the project completion cost. Fourth formula is not an actual formula. EAC equals the actual cost plus the new cost estimation. We calculate the future costs in a detailed manner. We can name this as bottom-up estimate to complete and add them to the actual cost occurred until now. We use this method if we think that the original estimate is somehow wrong or flawed. We have 3 more formulas to memorize for the exam. The first one is TCPI, which is the abbreviation of To Complete Performance Index. TCPI equals BAC minus EV divided by BAC minus AC. This is budget at completion minus earned value divided by budget at completion minus actual cost. This is the CPI rate we should meet to complete the project within the original budget. The next one is ETC, which is the abbreviation of Estimate to Complete. ETC equals EAC minus AC, which is Estimate at Complete minus Actual Cost. As we see from the equation, ETC is nothing but the money we will spend until we reach the forecasted budget at the end of the project. Here, if we think that the original estimate is somehow wrong or flawed, we can re-estimate the remaining duration, and this is another way of calculating the ETC. The final formula we need to know for the exam is VAC, which is the abbreviation of Variance at Completion. VAC equals BAC minus EAC, which is Budget at Completion minus Estimate at Complete. This formula tells us how much we will be under or over the budget at the end of the project. So, these are the formulas you need to know for the exam. Now, let's learn how to do the calculations and how to analyze the results. We will do it in the following lecture. So, I will see you there. Thanks for watching.